What ho, chaps? How the devil? Sorry, I'm a lot. I'm only 5 minutes late. I'm always 5 minutes late. I was just noticing Blue Van Man having a pop in the comments. So I thought I was, late, not 5 minutes late. Is 5 minutes even late? If you went on a date and the bird was 5 minutes late, would you say she was late? Nah. 5. I'm not doing military timings anymore. I've told you, out of principle, I refuse to come early. Because in the Corps, we were always fucking 2 hours early for everything. I've told the story before, it does me head in. So out of principle, now I'm a fucking strawberry mivvy. I'm not doing it. It's because of the rank structure. I've told you guys, right? For those of you that haven't heard the dit, in the military, it goes down the chain of command. So you get the commanding officer at the very top of the commando unit. He's a lieutenant colonel. And he says, tell the lads to be at the armoury at fucking 6 o'clock. 0600 sharp, he says. And all the company commanders, they're majors. And they say, all right. So they go and tell their officers, tell the boys to be outside the fucking armoury at 10 to 6. And then the officers, they're all captains. They go and tell their troop bosses, the company commanders. And they tell them, make sure the lads are outside the armoury at fucking 20 to 6. And by the time it gets from the troop bosses who are like lieutenants down to the stripies, it's fucking 20 past 5. And then the stripies tell the corporals, and the corporals tell the lads. And by the time you fucking, next thing, you stood outside the armoury with your thumb up your ass at 4:30, and you're there for an hour and a half. It's fucking Baltic, stood too, freezing your ass off. So now I'm a civvy. I don't do 5 minutes early. It's not happening. I do 5 minutes late because that'll show the bastards. That'll show the fucking perfect strangers that none of you have ever met and ever will meet, who made my life a fucking misery. Yeah, not logical. I don't have to be logical. It's my show. I can do what I want. Right. There you go. Bit of a rant to start with. Oh yeah, as usual, I keep pushing it. Fucking click on it because you know the crack. You can put the volume down. The more people you get on your streams on Twitch, the more freedoms you get, and you can store your stuff on there, and there's all sorts of shit. And most importantly, that's where you find me when Susan grabs me by the short and curlies, when she makes a fist around my tender, unpolluted knackersack and grounds my plums to dust. That's what she does. She places them gently upon her palm, and then she spreads them out evenly, and then goes until they are fucking naught but jelly. That's what Susan does to my taties. So when that inevitably happens, Twitch is where you will find me. Richard Errington, the wife says I always come early. Ah ha ha. It's that has never even heard of the Dunblane massacre. It's Dunblane, isn't it? Not Dunblane. Dun, as in November. Not M, as in Mike. Blue Van Man's here. Blue Van Man, switch it on. Follow him, he's a sensible fellow. Carl. I think I went out with her. I'm sure there's some sexual deviants in the chat who would get off on such an act. But I'm not one of them. Hello, Kaiser's mom on Twitch. How are you doing? Right, so this one. Let's do the news, shall we? Instead of talking about my plums. I know we do that quite a lot on the Angry Bootneck. It wasn't intended to be a plum-centric channel. But sometimes it goes that way. Unintentionally, I assure you all. Oh, yeah. What do you think of this one, right? So, joking aside, you guys know the crack with the Angry Bootneck. He wears his heart on his sleeve. Despite me getting banned from fucking Susan's godforsaken platform for, well, I was going to say for talking about jabs, but that's not why, is it? I was banned because they don't like conservative people. Reasonable centrist people. They don't like you if you're not woke. So that's what I was banned for. Because obviously I fucking didn't say anything that was ridiculous. And the video's right there for all the world to see on Odyssey. Oh yeah, I should put a link to Odyssey in, shouldn't I? Because some of you probably haven't seen the video that they threw me off the platform for. At no point was any medical information fucking in any way touched upon. I wasn't talking about it at all. But, you know, decide for yourselves. I'll just find you a quick link for it. Because I think Odyssey is the only place I put it. I tried to find it and upload it to Rumble as instructed. But it was gone. And I don't know where I saved the download. So, yeah, here's the link to that video if you want to watch it. Where are we? Yeah, there we go. David Bruce is stealing my English terms and using them commonly and making them common vernacular in America. That's a good idea. We need some more, because we keep using all the American ones now. I hate hearing teenagers in England say dude and bro, which it'd be good to get some going the other way as well. So yeah, there's the link to that video. It's just 5 minutes of me whinging. There's no fucking need for it to sling me off the platform as a result of it. But yeah, we are where we are. Right, the news I want to talk about. Let's do that. I'm getting sidetracked. First things first, I will say, I think we overdo the use of the word freedom. I'd prefer to have a different name. I don't know what you'd call it. The anti-lockdown convoy or something. I just feel like we use it for everything now. When I was in Iraq on my second tour of duty, the Americans, everything was freedom. It was FOB freedom, freedom radio, freedom this, freedom that. Like, I think we overuse it, me. It sort of does me head in. Maybe that's because I was listening to David Starkey and I'm not really a believer that we're free. We're not, are we? We never have been. America's not a free country. It's freer than Britain. It's not a free country. I'm definitely with Starkey there, right? He's talking about how Rousseau, obviously he's French, he's an idiot, was wrong because we aren't born free. We're useless for the first fucking 10 years of our life. So we're not really free. So for me, the term sort of chafes. We use it all the time. Ever since the founding fathers popularised it with all of the little chants and logos. But we're not really free, are we? We're not free. We're not free in America. We're not free in Britain. Fucking Mel Gibson, yeah, but definitely Mel Gibson's fault. Shut up, you daft fucking frisp. Those of you that don't know, that's another military acronym, FRISP. It means fucking repulsive, ignorant Scottish prick. Call someone a frisp. Unless you're Scottish, at which point you counter with, no, that acronym actually means friendly, reliable, intelligent Scottish person. So that's a rare acronym, that. It's a two-way one. You can use it in both ways. A group of Scotsmen can call each other proudly frisps. Or a derogatory Englishman can also use it. What's that? Alex Belfield is ex-BBC. Yeah, I don't like Alex Belfield. I've told you that. I've had a few looks at Alex Belfield's channel, and he seems, I don't insufferably smug is a term that I'd use for him. I mean, I don't hate the bloke, like, itch that there, because I haven't really had a run-in with him, but I'm not a fan of him. I don't trust any man that worked at the BBC, like, for more than a month. Certainly someone who had a show, and it's typical that he's probably got insiders helping push his content because he's absolutely massive and he's not the most charming fucker in the world, is he? And also, as Paul Tidy-Wells wisely points out, he's also a fucking fox piss. Gwa. I don't trust Gwa. So, yeah. You've got to see a few days worth of videos. Yeah. Hot and cold. Yeah, he's again, to me, he's all right, but I don't subscribe to him. I don't watch his videos regularly. Right, stop pulling me off. I can't not make double entendres. Stop taking me away from the subject at hand. Let's talk about it. Yes, I don't like the term freedom. We fucking overuse it. None of us are free. Just accept it. We live in a fucking police state. Yeah, the government can do what they want. Think you're American and you're free? Try not paying your property tax. See where you fucking end up. Right? But this story intrigues me. I'll tell you why. Do you remember when they were going on about 18 months ago and I was constantly making content about the Black Lives Matter riots? The full-blown riots. The worst among them of all, the most egregious one, was the riots in the middle of the lockdown. Let me see if there's a BBC story about that. June 20th, 2020. So this was like actually smack bang in the middle of fucking lockdown. Black Lives Matter protests held all across England. Look at the groups. Hundreds of people gathered for Black Lives Matter. It was more than that. This is, as usual, them playing them down. The gatherings are in breach of coronavirus lockdown rules, and many in the crowds wore masks and observed social distancing. So these people were wrecking shit, beating police officers up, murdering people in numerous occasions. There was deaths all across America, literally murdering people, killing coppers, murdering police. A police chief got murdered, David Dawn. Wrecking statues, hundreds of millions of pounds worth of damage all across the fucking world. And all the BBC did was reported on them positively. Look, love yourself, man. Fucking, what, love yourself in the face with a brick? Is that how you do it? Love yourself in the face with a brick? Love yourself, bam, 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 bam. That's not loving yourself, that's killing a black policeman because you're a communist activist. But the BBC, if you just read this piece, it's all fucking negative. All the photos are nice. There's no photos of the fucking dead copper or their face all fucked up. No pictures like that. No pictures of any shops on fire. Just loads of nice... They've picked the nicest banners. Some of the fucking banners said things like, die, piggy, die. There's no banners like that. It's just, silence is violence. That fucking dog shit mantra. Silence is violence. Can you believe that? Silence is violence. What a load of bollocks. And it's all just this, look. Yeah, here we are. Totally fucking vindicating all these people. Basically making out like they're all heroes. And even though it was in the middle of the fucking lockdowns, the gatherings, well, they were in breach of lockdowns, but they were all wearing masks and they were observing social distancing, yeah. Oh yeah, it looks like they're observing fucking social distancing there. Yeah, mega observing social distancing there. So this is what you got when woke communists, whose general message the BBC wholeheartedly supports and endorses. This is the message you get. Positivity, even in the middle of lockdown. Praise, nice photographs of people with masks on, pleasant pictures of people with signs. No mention of the murder, no mention of the beatings, no mention of the vandalism, no mention of the burnings, no mention of the fucking mob. Just, yay. And now, look at the fucking difference between that, what I've just shown you, and this. Freedom Convoy, blockade at Alberta crossing, unlawful. It's unlawful. So when it was actually unlawful, again, I don't like using the L word because it's flavour of the month with all the fucking youthful YouTubers, literally, oh my God, I literally jumped out of my skin. You fucking didn't, you thick twat. You didn't, did you? Stop saying it. Even Sargon, who I am a big fan of, and I was pleased enough to share a virtual chat room with for a moment last month, he always says literally. Stop fucking talking like a 15-year-old American schoolgirl. When people say it, it reminds me of a valley girl in California. You know, the ones who end every sentence with an upwards inflection. It's like, so that you think everything they say is a question. I was like, going to the store, and I got some like Gatorade, like literally, and it was like literally the best thing I've ever drank, ever, literally. It wasn't, and that's not a question. Did you fucking get it or not? Where was I with that? Oh yeah, literally unlawful. The Black Lives Matter protests, when they were rioting in the middle of an actual fucking pandemic, which was legislated against heavy-handedly, at no point did I support it, but they legislated against public gatherings of any size, let alone big fuck-off public gatherings where everybody sets shit on fire and punches policewomen in the face. When they covered that, there was no mention of anything being unlawful in the headline, was there? There was just lukewarm fucking praise and what's this? Black Lives Matter protests held a doesn't say that there, does it? It's unlawful there, but they didn't make any mention of it. It didn't say big fuck-off riots take place during worst lockdown in British history. Didn't say anything about that being unlawful. Weird. Weird. And yet, Freedom Convoy, unlawful. Or really? Really, yeah. Cheers, fucking easy. So what a load of bollocks. Patrick's blood's on fire. It should be. It should be. Yes. You should be fucking outraged. Because it is so... Like I said, it makes me angry. Oh, yeah. I am reading it, decent hombre. However, multitasking is not a bootneck skill. Yeah? You don't have to do more than one thing at once when you're a Green Beret. They say things like, kill people that come over around that corner. They don't say, kill people that come around that corner. Also, do some fucking ironing and fill this form out and maybe do a map check while you're at it. Yeah? Multitasking, women are better at multitasking. Bootneck's not so much. I'm a one at a time kind of guy. I do my best to try and interact with you cunt in the chat, but you expect too much if you want intricate conversation. Thanks very, very name. I would like to know the name of the police chief who was murdered. David Dawn, I believe, was the police chief's name. Is that not it? Maybe I'm wrong. That's just something I committed to memory about 12 months ago. I'm pretty sure it was David Dawn. Anyway, Google it. If you Google police chief, Black Lives Matter, death, probably comes straight up. Anyway, where was I? See, this is why I don't talk to you fuckers. Yeah, literally, that was it. So it was literally unlawful when Black Lives Matter were doing it. Not unlawful when the Freedom fucking Convoy had a pop, is it? They didn't punch any coppers in the face. They didn't do it in the middle of a lockdown where they'd legislated no groups bigger than 4. So this is a load of bollocks, is it not, BBC? Also, they're trying to paint this as being violent, and there's been almost no trouble at all, considering the size of the crowds. The amount of violence and disorder has been minuscule. I don't know what the property value was valued at over here in the United States, but it must have been in the billions. There's only, 1,000 million in a billion? It was at least in the high hundreds of millions. Let's just say that. Hundreds of millions of dollars worth of property damage when those fucking communist savages were smashing the shit out of towns and cities from California to fucking New York State. They wrecked the country. Wrecked the country. And whoever it is in the chat dripping about this dead guy, there was more than one fucking murder during the Black Lives Matter riots. There was dozens. How many did they kill in the Chaz? Remember that dog shit Chaz or the Chop or whatever the fuck they're calling it next? In Seattle, where a bunch of communists just seized 4 city blocks. There was at least 4 or 5 murders. That's why everyone was laughing at the mayor. Because the woke mayor was like, maybe it's going to be like the summer of love, man. And the next thing, there's fucking rape in every cunt, murders, muggings, robbery, arson, just complete fucking lunacy. The crime and disorder from these protests was minuscule if you count the number. Because think about it, right? If you get 100 blokes, you just stopped outside a fucking grocery store and stopped every fighting age man between the age of about 16 and 45, and until you had a group of about 100, you'd have several fucking arseholes amongst them. Probably 10. Like, you know, I was a bit of a thug when I was a chavvy teenager. To see the crowds as big as they were for the Freedom trucks and see the amount of disorder that there was as a result of it was extremely low by any metric you want to use. There's always going to be some disorder and there's always going to be some criminal elements who take advantage of it. But the Black Lives Matter riots were different gravy, and we've never seen anything like that before. It was the only thing akin to it is Rodney King, the riots in LA when Rodney King got filled in. But that wasn't nationwide. It wasn't worldwide. But the BLM communists smashed the shit out of shops from coast to coast in the United States. They even rioted in London. Those of you that pay attention know this. They were doing it in foreign countries. There was a policewoman who got bricks through at a horse and then fell off the fucking... Do you remember when the horse started galloping because someone shot a brick at it and then she headbutted the fucking road sign and ended up on her ass. It was coast to coast. So someone mocking my accent in the chat there. Proest. Yeah, to me though, Americans put too many T's in the words. Like water. They don't say water. They say water. Like it's spelled WAAATTTTER. Oh, would you like it? Because I was, in a restaurant, I'd be like, can I have some water? And they go, what? Like water. Huh? Water. And they go, oh, you mean water. Oh, it hasn't got 6 T's in it, has it? Anyway, decent hombre, my lefty chum, I'm happy to interact with the chat as best I can, but I need decent questions, right? Nobody thinks that a swastika flag being flown is okay. There's almost nobody who goes, swastikas, fucking love them. Who on the conservative side of the aisle thinks they're cool? Nobody. The people who fought the Nazis were people like me. It was us. It wasn't left-wing fucking anti-capitalist lunatics who never sign up and do anything useful with their fucking lives. It was working-class soldiers. It was us who did the fighting. If there was a swastika there, anybody who's seen it will have gone, yeah, that guy's a bit of a cunt. It's a shit question. In fact, any reference to Nazis is a bit ridiculous in this day and age. I'm sick of hearing it. There's almost no Nazis in the world. If you were to take the most right-wing people you know in the United States, probably less than 0.5% of them are Nazis. Because guess what? The Americans and the Brits and the Anglosphere in general fought the fucking Nazis. Funny old thing. Maybe go and have a word with the Germans about Nazis and then just leave that there. Because I'm sort of hearing about it quite a lot with regards to run-of-the-mill, dull, reasonable centrists. And it sort of does my head in. It's like, it's not to do with us, is it? It's like, we actually fought them. So our forebears did. Both my grandparents fought on the front line in the Second World War. And I don't see why, as a result of them pulling the fucking pudding out to rid the world of the Nazis, now every woke arsehole from fucking Edinburgh to bastard New Mexico drops Nazi at the drop of a hat. Almost nobody is a Nazi. So stop asking obvious questions. It's a lazy argument, Blue Van Man. Exactly so. Nobody's pro-fucking Nazi in bastard America. Christ on a bike. So, yeah, this is ridiculous. The BBC's reporting of it all is fucking lunacy. And they just the Royal Canadian Mounted Police said it was unlawful. You didn't say that when communists were wrecking everything, did you? We thought we had a path to resolve if the protesters chose not to comply. Well, yeah, because you've been locking people in the house for 2 years. Is that not unlawful? And again, this isn't about the pandemic or the jab or anything else. It's about, as people like me have said from the very beginning, yeah, we need to do stuff when there's a fucking pandemic. That's why every nation had a plan, a pandemic response plan. Do that. Do that. They drilled for it. It was the top of the National Risk Register. They trained for it. We prepared for it. Everybody knew that eventually there's going to be a fucking pandemic. There's always a pandemic. It wasn't like we had the Spanish flu pandemic and then we had swine flu and then we had SARS and everybody was sitting there going, well, that nice one, we'll never, ever have another pandemic ever again. Everyone knows they're coming. So we had them squared away. We had a plan. We had a risk register. We had drills. We knew what to do. And at no point was lock every fucker in their house for 2 years and tell them they can't go and see the granny. At no point was that part of the plan. These protests are not about anything that the bullshit media, the BBC, CNN, are telling you. They're not anti-vaxxer. Again, 90% of the truckers have had the fucking vaccine. Like most people in the Western world. Most people have had the vaccine. They're not anti-vax. They are anti lockdown, because anyone who knows anything about legal history in the Western world knows that it is fucking illegal. You don't have the right to tell healthy 18-year-old lads they're not allowed to go out for a couple of cans with their mates. You don't have the right to do that. And just because politicians and lawmakers, slimy scumbags that they are, can change the laws on a whim, doesn't make it legal. Because legality comes through precedent. When they just change the laws on a whim and then go, legal now, it's not really, is it? Again, any student of history knows this. Anybody who pays attention knows this. It's not legal just because fucking Boris Johnson and all his mates change all the laws and then go, legal. It isn't. Most laws come about as a result of decades of lengthy debate and discussion, and most importantly because of striking legal precedent. They can't just do shit on a whim and then have their hands clean. It doesn't work that way. Think about it. If you got some like if Abu Hamza, let's say in 20 years' time, Abu Hamza manages to become the Prime Minister of Britain. Yeah, he's getting on a bit. His hook's a bit rusty by this point. Finally, he ascends to be the Prime Minister because there's enough followers of everybody's favourite religion, so Abu Hamza can become the Prime Minister. If he then, within a week, makes it legal to rape women that aren't fucking wearing a ninja costume, is it legal? Can you just do it? Oh, she's showing her ankles. Yeah, donkey one into her on the side of the fucking road and go, there you go. Legal now. Legal that, innit? Of course it is. Everyone knows it's legal. It isn't. It isn't. Legality comes from a lengthy process, an extremely rigorous debate, and precedents. And none of that happened with these fucking lockdowns. So you can't just fucking claim, oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with locking everybody up, healthy people. Again, in many ways, the Middle Ages were more civilised than we are now. Because they used to, when you get like lepers and shit, they used to make the lepers stay in their own little fucking area, but they didn't tell healthy people they weren't allowed out. Like, that's how backwards it is, talking about legal precedent. They didn't lock healthy people up, did they? If you had, like, smallpox or leprosy or something in the fucking old days, they used to make them go and make their own little commune out the way, but they didn't go, whoa, I'll tell you what we should do. Let's get every single person in the entire country and lock them up, because you never know, they might bump into a leper that's not doing what he's told. They've never done it. They've never done it. Yeah, I've seen that as well. Fun fact, public opinion polls show. Yeah, I'm sure they do. But what does that prove, right? You guys the left don't care about elections. You don't care about election results. You only care about election results when they go your fucking way. Again, you've ruined it, haven't you? Because what the lefties do is they change the rules on a whim when it doesn't suit them. And then when it does suit them, then they're back to going, oh, I'll play by the rules. Fucking Brexit is the best example. And Trump. When the elections don't go their fucking way, then they go, elections, not my president. Yeah, election, referendum, fuck. Nah, people aren't clever enough to know what they want to vote for. People aren't clever enough to be allowed freedom. No, we just have to ignore them. Ignore the dirty election results we don't like. Yeah, cheers then. And then they spend 4 fucking years. 4 years ignoring the election results. And then Biden wins and they go, oh yeah, fucking brilliant elections. This is, how many times have I talked about this? This is what I'm saying about these fucking people. They're myopic. They only think 2 minutes into the future. So they always want to change rules and regulations when it suits them. They lose an election and they go, oh, quick, change the fucking rules, quick. Gerrymander, change the rules so we can. And then the guy that don't like comes in, uses the rules that they wrote and beats them, and they go, fucking hell, we have to get rid of these rules, you cunts. I mean, it's trivial. It's trivial. It's trivial to show. So think more than 10 seconds ahead of yourselves. Don't change any rules. Don't change any laws. I've been talking about this for fucking 2 years. Don't change laws. If you lose, just accept the fact you lost. I haven't been banging the drum about Trump and the fucking 2020 election, because it's like, who cares? If you fucking lose, win the next one. Yeah, there appears to have been some sort of impropriety. But American elections are shit. We haven't got election integrity in America, and we never have had it. They've been talking about dodgy elections in America for 30 years. They were talking about it when Al Gore was fucking lost to Bush. So there's no trust in American elections. So there's no point whinging about it. No point having a pop about Trump anymore. Just win the next one. But they don't like that. Like they're totally late. You have to go by the letter of the law when they win, and then you have a moral duty to ignore them all when you lose. Yeah, cheers. Well, you can't have it both ways, fellas. You can't have it. It is fucking painfully obvious what you're doing. Anyway, so this is bollocks. Justin Trudeau said he would not engage with or cave into the demands of the protesters. My focus is standing with Canadians and getting through this. Yeah, well, listen, the problem you've got there, JT, is that we've now got 2 years evidence to look at. And we've got countries like Sweden, and indeed, we've even got countries like the UK, yeah, that when they start lessening restrictions, suddenly they're not walking around with fucking in tattered rags, yeah? They didn't like get rid of the mask mandates in the UK and all of a sudden a week fucking later, all the buildings are rubble, the death toll's fucking catastrophic, everybody's wandering around in rags. Why, God, why have you forsaken us? There's no need for any of this. And what was I saying 2 years ago? The Swedes will be proved right. Is Sweden in fucking ruins compared to Australia? No. So wasn't it correct, like skeptics have said all along, to allow individuals to be free to make their own decisions? And if you're scared, or you have health reasons, or you're morbidly obese and asthmatic, or you're just a fucking wimp, you do you. You stay in your house, you wear a mask everywhere, you get your groceries delivered, you don't go and see your mother, you don't go and see your kids. But if you're 19-year-old and you're fit and healthy and you can read and you know what the numbers look like and you're willing to engage your brain instead of just being a woke fucking ideologue and getting told what to do by the BBC, you go to the titty bar and you go to the fucking casino and you go to the boozers and the nightclubs and you enjoy your fucking life. And guess what? The world will keep on turning and it's big enough for all of us. That's what I've been saying for 2 years, and I think we can happily say, winner, I've been proved fucking right. Freedom works. Funny old thing. It really does. It works, ladies and gents. CNN doesn't know you. They don't know your circumstances. They don't know your tolerance for risk management. They don't know about your health. Only you know that. This is what the argument's been. I'm not, and again, I'll repeat this for anyone who is thick enough to be doing what they're doing with these truck drivers, most of which have had the vaccines. I've had the fucking vaccines. Both of them. Because I got them to fly over to the United States. I've had them. You can't call me a fucking anti-any bastard thing when I've had the cunts. Like I said, it's like calling me anti-gay marriage while I'm sucking jizz out of Ricky Martin's arsehole. I'm not. I'm just pointing out, freedom works. The system works. You do you. If you don't want to take any risks, don't take any fucking risks. It's like having a mandate for bungee jumping. Bungee jumping's risky, but they didn't ban it, did they? They said if you want to be a silly cunt and fucking fling yourself off a bridge with a bit of elastic around your legs, you crack on, fella. I don't want to do it, so I'll stay at home and read the paper where it's safe. It works. It works. Freedom works. You don't need to break the law and then fucking make your own up on a whim like they've done all across the Western world. You don't need to take the piss out of all of your citizenry just because you're a fucking pussy. It works. And as I suggested from the beginning, that's what I felt about the jabs. I was happy to get it because I'm a military man. I've been injected with fucking everything. I'm sure at some point they injected me with liquid dog shit. It's like in the car, they didn't give a fuck what they put in you. When the BSE crisis went off, when I was in the car, we ate nothing but steak for about fucking 2 years. Do you remember when they were destroying all the British cows? I remember they drove the 4-tonners off the fucking camp at Lympstone, and they just convoys of them coming back on with fucking smouldering cows on the back. It was fucking mint. Steak tartare every day for fucking 8 months. I was loving life. I'm a fan of beef. It works. If I was worried about BSE, I wouldn't have ate any beef. I'd have just gone on to the chicken option for a couple of fucking years. Do you see what I'm saying? That's a good analogy, is it not? It works. Yes, coronavirus is dangerous. Yes, it can kill you. There's no conspiracy theories here. I'm not saying it didn't happen or vaccines are fucking evil. I'm saying it just works if you let people decide for themselves. Easy, right? And the best thing about that is it's the lazy man's option as well, because the government doesn't need to do anything. You don't have to do any work. You just say, be about your fucking business, like the original plan was. Salmonella's another good one, Alan Dudson. Spelled it wrong, but doesn't matter. Yeah, Salmonella, Alan, is a fucking another good one. If you didn't want to eat eggs, you didn't eat them. There's just no need to go, eggs, you cunts. This is what I'm telling you. Look at all of the legal precedents for the last 50 fucking years, and you can see that what they've done is immoral, illogical, and illegal. You just let the public decide how they want to manage a risk. Doesn't matter whether you're talking about BSE, salmonella, or fucking pandemic. You do you. Inform them as best you can. Encourage them to get the vaccine if you think that it would be suitable for their age group or their risk category. Encourage them gently and then shut the fuck up. You don't need the propaganda. You don't need it. And as I talked about Samuel, again, we'll be proven right. And I've got a digital record now on fucking in cyberspace forever because I'm a smug, chippy northern wanker, and I want to be able to say I was fucking right, and you, big fat, saggy albino jellyfish, fucking ridiculous middle-class civil servant twat, Keir Starmer, and everybody else that's a coward, was wrong. I was right, you were wrong. Thank you very much. Poke it up your fucking dirt box. Right? That's it. It's the only reason I started doing this. I don't do it for praise or money or respect. I do it because I'm a chippy wanker and I like being proved fucking right. And I don't care what Sousa or fucking Foreskin Fauci or any of the other chiselers in fucking Silicon Valley have to say about it. I was right and you were wrong. Now I shall throw back my head and laugh. Yeah, cheers easy. Fucking suck on that. What else was I saying? Oh yeah, wait till the numbers come out from everything else. Wait till the numbers come out from everything else. What was I saying fucking 18 months ago? Wait till the numbers come out from heart attack, stroke, cancer, fucking diabetes, cardiac incidents, fucking depression, anxiety, addiction, fucking anything, self-harm, suicide, you bastard name it. You bastard name it. The deaths and misery and hours of human suffering that have came as a result of these fucking lockdowns will be catastrophic. What have I been saying for fucking 2 years? I've been saying that. When they look back at this in 10 years' time and they've got all the data, the hard data, the numbers, because left-wing activists love talking about their fucking numbers. Ooh, what about the sauce, please, old boy? Fucking suck my balls. How's that for sauce? Have some white sauce, you cunt. Sauce. What about the sauce? Yeah, well, the sauce is going to be hard fucking numbers. They're going to look at the cancer deaths from like 2017, and then they're going to look at the cancer deaths from 2020, and they're going to go, fuck me, what have we done? What have we done? We've killed middle-aged and young women and men. Young lasses who died of breast cancer or skin cancer because they didn't get screened because of the lockdowns. Lasses in the 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s. They've wiped them out in the scores to add to take a little bit less risk for 87-year-old geriatrics with fucking Alzheimer's, Parkinson's and incontinence. And they wiped out tens of thousands of those people just so they could manage the risk of the geriatrics. Like I said before, if you ask them, they wouldn't want you to do it. If you were to ask my granny, 80 fucking 5-year-old granny, do you think we should lock the kids in the house for fucking 2 years just so you'll be a bit more safe? She'd say, fuck off, son, I've had a good long life. I wouldn't want to see my grandkids suffering because of some fucking risk to me. They'd tell you that themselves. They'd tell you that themselves. You know it and I know it. Ask your own fucking granny. It is irresponsible, it is illegal, and I will fucking throw back my head and howl I will chuckle till my fucking nipples fall off when I'm proved right, and all of the highly educated elites who frankly I wouldn't trust to fucking tie the shoelaces are proved fucking wrong. And it might not be this month, it might not be this year, but it's coming, and we shall all be fucking vindicated. And there we go, I'm done. If this gets me fucking banned, well, again, we're living in fucking cloud cuckoo land. There was nothing to do with medicine there, was there? There was simply some gloating because I'm right and they're wrong. All right? Let's call it there. Thanks for watching. Fuck the BBC. If I didn't make that clear by the name of this show and the last 2 years of posts, fuck the BBC, because this peaceful protest was unlawful. But this, in the middle of the fucking lockdown, with all that murder and looting, mostly peaceful. Mostly peaceful. Fuck off, BBC. You are pulling my pisser, boys. I'm telling you. Right, thanks a lot, guys. Cheers for the likes and the shares and all of that bollocks. Blue Van Man, see you on Twitch. You're a good lad, mate. Thanks for everyone, Kate. Cheers for moderating, and whoever left-wing agitator in the chat, yeah, you're welcome. I do love being distracted by the chat. It's great. I'm so good at multitasking. It really does. It sits well with me. Thanks for coming along. See you guys very soon. Cheers.